Get it.
Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now.
We just did it, buddy. Howdy, howdy, people. Today is October 27th, which means it is the anniversary of my dad's first big buck with a bow. His only really big buck with a bow, actually, really big one. And the biggest buck to this day that's on our wall. 2009, Dad shot his 163 on today's date. It's a day about like this, really. It was pretty nasty all day, and then it cleared up about dark, and that big boy came to check a scrape. It was the last mistake he ever made. Today, we are getting a little bit western. So, story time, real quick. Today's 27th, so 25th, not the 25th is when it was Sunday night. I was coming back, and I saw one of, if not the biggest bucks I've ever seen on the hoof at about 9:30 at night in the National Forest. I got to drive through a small section of it to get here, and he was huge. He looked like a big, like typical 10 on top, like super long, skinny tines, and then down below when he turned to look at me, coming off either his beams or his twos or something, somewhere on the low backside, he just had trash everywhere on both sides. Really unique, really gnarly, really big deer. And he was on public. Granted, this was 9:30 at night, but we're gonna send it. It's raining right now, as you can probably tell, and it's picking up again. It was just misting a second ago. It's a nasty night. I'm gonna be wet. I'm wearing 2 or 3 or 4 layers right now. I got 2 hoodies on. It's 39 degrees right now. And it's 2:12 in the afternoon, so it's only gonna get colder. I'm gonna be freezing tonight, but if I get in any sign, it'll be totally worth it. We're gonna scout our way into this piece of public, hopefully find something cool in there, and maybe set up first thing in the morning, at noon tomorrow evening. I don't really know yet. Depends on where we find it and how significant it is. I know there's got to be deer in there. I know there's a monster buck living in there somewhere. So we're just going to do a whole lot of walking. As you can see by looking around me here, these ridge tops are just giant, nasty, overgrown fields. So I'm not saying the deer don't use them. I think they definitely have to. But I don't really even know where to begin to look through them, and there's no edge anywhere. So what my game plan is to work the top third of these ridges and the leeward sides like this. See if I can't find some scrape lines or something. Travel corridors, anything. Maybe just bump into a deer. And hopefully we can find a little bit of diversity that way. Maybe some fresh sign. Walked this line out. I popped up on top right here and just bumped the doe out of this thick stuff. Either a doe or a little bitty buck. It wasn't anything significant. I've been working along this edge right here. I looked in the woods. I got something interesting, it looks like. It's fresh, whatever it is. I don't really know what to make of it. It's not scarred up crazy. The tree is huge. But something's been in here. Could be anything. But it's the most deer sign I've found in here so far, so maybe we're starting to get to something. We'll keep easing our way along this edge, I think, and then probably double back on that top third. That edge that I was walking is right there. I hit this little saddle here. I'm gonna go right down this point and dive off back to the third parallel like I was, upper third like I was. Now I'm seeing a little rub right there. I was gonna show you guys this rub right here. It's not huge, but it's there. It is rub. I thought I just saw one. Yep, there's one right over there. A little bitty one right here. So I'm getting a lot less upset with myself very fast here. Nothing fresh, nothing crazy, but it is there. Let's go look at this one over here. This one looks fresher. Oh, something's been walking around in here. It's fresher. There's still ain't much to it, and it ain't that fresh. Probably 2 weeks old. Bingo. It's a rub right there. Scrape right here. It's not real fresh, but it is here. It's kind of a random little opening in here. It's very immature timber. It's kind of strange. I do have a camera with me. I'm tempted to just throw it up on this thing. I feel like I can find a fresher scrape, but I could be crazy. I think I'm gonna throw it up on here. If nothing else, at least it's up. We're right on the top of this little saddle here right now. This point is right in front of me. It's a pretty subtle point, but it's just enough, because here we go. So there's the scrape that I just put the camera up on right there. I saw this rub earlier. It's an older one, and now I'm looking down the ridge, and I can already see another. I already see another rub too. There's the one I was talking about right there. There's another one right there. Deer. Just saw a deer right here. I'm gonna put my phone down so I can have my glass ready if I need it. Fresh rub. I'm confident on rub. Scrape, scrape, scrape. And this is kind of where that deer I just bumped was. That's hot. Those are way, way fresher than the ones I just walked past. Found the hot stuff right on this point. Holy cow. I've moved about probably 50 yards since I was on those scrapes, and I've hit rub everywhere. And I just spotted a really nice one, so we're gonna take a look at it so I can show you guys. A nice fresh one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the sign gets better, boys. The further I go, the sign gets better. That is not an old rub. That is not a small rub. Look at that. Wow. That's been the last day. I wouldn't be surprised if that was this morning. Golly. It is hot in here. I hate walking past it all, but I think I need to just keep going. I just jumped the deer out of that shit right there. Walked up here and found another bed, and it's warm. So I just bumped at least two. I think I bumped pretty soft. It may have been bucks, but I bet they were does. Bedding in a group like this on this edge of this hill. There's no rubs or anything anywhere. Wind at their backs. Unbelievable. There's something to all this stuff. Something to it. We're gonna keep taking our way along. See how many more deer we bump. Well, I don't know if those first deer I bumped were bucks or does, but I know what bed's in this is. It's not a doe. We're gonna crawl in there. Look at all the rubs in here. Holy cow, they make it all. See them all broke off in there. Hey everybody, so up to this point in the video you've seen me lay out my first attempt to go find this deer that I called Mark in the National Forest in there. He got the name Mark because he was living in Mark Twain National Forest, so I kind of took that and ran with it. I did a good job of laying out that day, but after that I don't think I followed up with the story real well. If I did, it's been lost in time. I mean, we're talking 5 years ago now that this all went down. So I did a good job laying out in that video why I was in there, what I was after, all that kind of stuff. And then after that, it kind of got a little spotty, but I just wanted to kind of lay out the general story as we get from that day onward to the point where the next video is going to begin. So that's fall of 2020. That's October 27th. On October 31st, Sambo and I went in and hunted that spot where I hung that camera. We checked that card on the way in, and I'll never forget, I was putting my first stick on the tree, and he's checking the card with his phone, and he goes, "Oh my God." I turned around, I said, "What?" And he said, "Look," and he turns the phone to me, and there's Mark in this picture right here in all of his glory. And there's a couple other pictures and they're just fantastic. And I'm like, you know, that's my validation. I mean, I actually drawn a picture of the deer on a paper plate at Nick and Mason's house the night before. And I think they all kind of thought I was a little crazy, maybe a little bit far-fetched. And then the deer looks like the picture I drew. And so we're tickled. And we had an okay hunt that day. And then we hunted the day after and it was pretty slow. And then it kind of peters off for a little bit. I checked that camera a couple more times and without any avail. And then we get into gun season. I actually pulled the camera out, checked the card after I pulled it, and he's on there again in gun season. I did gun hunt that area a few times, and then muzzleloader hunted it a few times, moved the camera to a different spot, got some more pictures of him later in the season, which are these pictures here. You can really see a lot of the characteristics he's got there. This is in December, I believe. You can see all that stuff come off the sides like I was describing in that first video, long skinny tines and all the trash off the sides. And this is where I kind of started to get the idea that he wasn't very old and he wasn't a very large bodied deer. After that, I did end up picking up a shed in spring of 2021 in March. I think it was a fall of 2019 shed off of him. The fall of 2020 sheds I never found, and from my knowledge they were found by a neighbor on private really close by there. Alright, full disclosure, I did already pick the shed up, but I put it back kind of where I found it because I want to show you guys how this thing was laying. It's a hammer. Look at that big little baby dropper there. Trying to fork that G2. Split off the base. Starting to think this shed may be off a deer that I know really well. It might be from last year though. If it's him, it's not him this year. But big public land Missouri buck right there, folks. So I say all this to say I think the deer in the fall of 2020 was probably a 4-year-old deer. I believe the shed I have is off of a 3-year-old deer. So fast forward, I moved to Texas for 3 months from May of 2021 until August of 2021 on internship down there. I'm working. I get back in August of 2021, and all I've thought about since every day since the fall of 2020 really was Mark. And I'm ready to just dive back into it, get down this rabbit hole and chase this deer. So that's where I'm going to leave this video at, guys. We're going to roll into the next video, which is going to start in the fall of 2021, and the saga that became the hunt from Mark. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Come on down the rabbit hole with me, guys. We'll see you on the next one.